Hey everybody, it's Paul Grossman, the dark arts wizard of AI-driven test automation. And I am back here for a fourth day. Can you believe this? I kind of randomly put up these videos every once in a while. I'm trying to do it for the whole week, and so far so good. 4 times I've gotten up here, and I am essentially going through to my all my stuff, my Facebook and all sorts of things, and announcing that I am live. And I don't have anybody watching yet, so I'm going to prep and see if anybody kind of shows up over here with test automation. I can see it's actually posted up on my YouTube channel. It's posted up on Facebook, and I'm hoping that maybe somebody decides to come up and take a peek at what is going on over here. So I have put those notifications out there on X, on Threads, on Substack, on YouTube. And if I ever get to figure out how I can do it live on TikTok, I will put it up there as well. So just to let you know what is going on over here is that I'm going to be we'll be doing a little bit of test automation as soon as when we get a little bit of eyeballs over here. And maybe one or two. We'll see how long it takes. I'm just going to do a little entertaining stuff as we go along to start off with. What kind of entertaining stuff can I do? Well, I could maybe, I don't know, pretend I'm Batman. This is an automation tool. This is online. This is Codeless, and there's no CSS and no XPath. If you're just joining over here, just to let you know, I actually published a book. Now, this is not quite the stuff, but this is a book called, this is Enhanced Test Automation with WebDriver IO. I play around with every tool that is out there. You name it, I'll play around with it. In fact, if you have something that you want to show off, if you want to say, hey, I want to show off my tool or my capabilities, you're absolutely welcome to do that, and I welcome you to come in. Another thing to note is that we have abilities to comments. There's comments in chit chat that I can do, and little private chats and comments and stuff. And I'm trying to figure all that stuff out right now. But what I am doing is the cool thing is I have a website. I have this website I've had for many, many years, and it's called Candy Mapper. Let me bring that up. I will bring up Candy Mapper. It's really cool. It's www.candymapper.com. Now, if you ever wanted to learn to be a test automation engineer and you wanted to have a little fun with it, the best thing I can do is recommend going over to my website and have yourself a little bit of fun. This is the Candy Mapper pop-up challenge over here. There's challenges on this site. There's a whole bunch of different things that are going on. And there's bugs in here. Not only are there bugs, there are hints to horror movies. It says 8 horror movie references. I thought it was 11. I thought it was 13. I thought it numbered over there. And 11 issues in there. Here's what you would do to do the Candy Mapper challenge. I'm going to show it to you. And if you can put together a video showing how quickly you can do this, I am more than happy to bring you on live, share your screen, talk a little bit about what you do. All right, so this is the Candy Mapper challenge. This is my website over here, candymapper.com. And here are the simple requirements. Just click the X to close this pop-up. All right, there's a pop-up up there. And then populate the context of field and then verify any success message. And if you want to go to the extra step, you could try and run your test on candymapper.net, which has the exact same fields on them. Can you believe that? All right, so this is what you would do. Step 1, you could go to click my Find My Candy, or you could click on the X and over here to close this out. The next thing is to go down and take a look. There's all sorts of little challenges. This is the only challenge I'm looking at. You want to put in your first name. I'm going to put in my first name, Paul. All right. And then I'm going to click on the submit button. This is step 3. Click submit. The next thing I want to do is verify that enter a valid email address is displayed on the screen. All right. Valid email is, I'm going to just say me@me.com. It's all about me. I'm going to click submit. So that's the, let's see, this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. This is the 5th step over here. Put in me@me.com, any email. I don't collect them. I don't send them out. I don't respond to them. It is just a sandbox website for anyone who's an automation engineer who wants to try their skills on a real simulated e-commerce site. When I say real simulated, this particular site is backed by GoDaddy. Yeah, it's all built by GoDaddy, and it's with their build. I have about 1% of coding that I put in here. And I'm going to go hit the submit button, and I click sending. And the last thing to validate is to say, hey, thank you for your inquiry. We will get back to you within 48 years. That's a long time to be getting back. And there's all sorts of other little tips and tricks and hints. You can take a look at this. If you want to do a manual test, you can have a little challenge. See how many bugs are found on that page. And this is, there's all sorts of little things kind of hidden here and there, and all sorts of links to go check out. And you could even do some downloads of vampires and zombies. It's all Halloween based, and it's a little fun. These are some of my friends that I've had over the years, and I've been to Halloween parties. And by the way, Candy Mapper has been in business for 150 years and has only one owner. Can you believe that? I can't believe that. Not really. So let me tell you a little bit more about the website here. This is just the first challenge. The next challenge you might want to do is see if you can select Worcestershire from this slider. Now, here's the problem with Worcestershire. First of all, when you open up the website, the slider, the selector, it's off the screen. And hey, I gotta give a shout out. I have one eyeball. One eyeball has shown up to this. Now, I gotta tell you, I've had it up to 3 eyeballs, and it's probably because I don't have good music behind here. Next week, I'm going to try and get some music. I will be a little offline next week. I'm busy doing some cool stuff, showing off sorts of different things. And I've got 2 eyeballs. 2 eyeballs have shown up. All right, thank you very much. I'm not going to bore you. I'm just going to say I'm doing this today and tomorrow. I also did it Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So do check out wherever you're at. I'm going to post a comment over there, and I'm going to say hello from where you are watching, because I would like to know if you're able to see this. And there it goes. And I've got that out there. Now, if you're watching from my YouTube channel, you should be able to respond back. And here's the thing. This is live, and it is unscripted, if you can't tell. It is unscripted. So what you could do, and I encourage you to do it, if you know of a public URL that you would like me to try to automate, navigate, and validate, I'll do it. All you got to do is post it into one of the communications channels over here. Now, if you're watching me on Twitch, I should be able to see this come back and message at me. And if you're watching me on YouTube, I should be able to see a message come back. In fact, yesterday, I was able to validate. 2 days ago, I was able to validate. I got messages back, and there were a couple of different sites that I went to. But here, I'm going to go back to what is the Candy Mapper Challenge. This is my automation sandbox. It is backed by GoDaddy, if you didn't hear that, and it has all sorts of little challenges, and one of them was over here to see if I can challenge, can you select Worcestershire from this dropdown? Now, Worcestershire happens to be all the way at the bottom, so even if this opens up this way, Worcestershire is actually physically located off the screen. That's the challenge, I'm telling you. And hey, we have matched our record. We have 3 eyeballs. 1 eyeball popped in and then just out. Okay, well, we were at 3 eyeballs for a moment. Here's another challenge over here. Can you do a validation that says I have some sort of value that appears on here? And this, every time I refresh the screen, that 340 is going to change. Now it's 993. Can you, and here's the hint, use a regular expression in order to validate that some sort of dollar amount appears on the screen. So that's one of the little things we have over here. I have other things under my more. I can go to Find My Candy. If I go to Find My Candy, it takes me to Answer Me My Questions 3. You can see this in the URL. If you know what this means, then you know what kind of guy I am. You know what I like. It's a little bit of a Monty Python characters, and you might want to check and see what, how much, if there's any bugs on this page. It's asking you to put in some information over there. Just type it in. There's no submit. We're just asking to see if you can find out some stuff about here. This is the dark arts wizardry of test automation over here. There's an address. If you can figure out what that address has a meaning for, it does have a certain meaning, you can do it. In fact, if you want to have a little fun, let's try this, because one of the things I really like to do is going to AI. So I'm going to go to AI, and we're going to see and say, what is the significance of this address? And let's see if it can figure it out. So it's sitting there thinking, chugging away. Appears to be, it is not a fictional location. It is a real location. It does say, okay, it's under bridge over here. It says this is real. The significance is related to its fictional appearance in a James Bond film. I was not aware of this being referenced in James Bond film, but I'm going to assume in GoldenEye it was put in here, but it says it does not. So I'm going to say I'm going to give it half a point for doing that. But you guys, look at this. I've lost one of my eyeballs, which means I'm not doing my job. I'm going to go over here to testRigor. We're going to go over there, and we're going to go, and I'm going to go log in. And since I got one eyeball over there, I'm going to go and take a look at our AI over here, our Best Buy site. This is what I was looking at last week, a little quick overview. First of all, I wanted to automate Best Buy with there's no code here, no page object model, there's no CSS, no XPath, and I just wanted to see if we could use AI to see if Bring on Spring is contained on the page. And if I take a look at this, I'm going to take a peek at it. Look, Bring on Spring is there. And here's the thing that just blows people's mind. Okay, it says using AI. Okay, it says, here's the information. It says that Bring on Spring is true because as it looks at the image, I can see that Best Buy's image features a prominent banner that clearly includes the text, Bring on Spring. And with a tagline underneath that says, make every space spring ready. This text is in yellow and white and around the purple area and the main promotional area. That's a lot of detail. I have never built an automation framework that has that level of detail, and I would do anything to have something like that. And that's one of the cool things about AI. But keep in mind, here's the other stuff I did here. I said, enter TV into Find. There's TV, and I know it has the word Find, so I can go over there. Wait a second. The screen capture was the immediate one that came up, but I can go and let's see. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Was the find is actually in this description over here. In fact, if I'm going to go over to Best Buy. Let's go verify that. We'll go to Best Buy like this, and I got an hour of hanging out here. Thank you, eyeball. We had 2 eyeballs. So we had 3. Now I'm down to 1. But if you do see me on YouTube or if you see me on Twitch, please send a message out to me. Say hello. You might even send a message to thedarkartswizard@gmail.com. You got to put the word "the" in front of it. You just say darkartswizard@gmail. It goes to somebody completely different. But if you want to have a little message or chit chat, I'm actually open to doing that as well. So that's an easy way to do it. The Dark, I'll go to Gmail over here. Gmail. The Dark Arts Wizard, and I'm going to go set up my email. I'm going to open that up. So if you want to chat with me and you can't see some sort of chat going on, then I'm going to do this. Please feel free, hit me up at thedarkartswizard@gmail.com. The Dark Arts Wizard. Okay, The Dark Arts Wizard over there. That's my email, The Dark Arts Wizard. So if you want to send something to me and say, okay, Paul, I got the little magic rabbit pulling out of the hat, send it over there. And I am probably going to go and respond to it. HelloFresh has been sending me. All right, I'm not here to advertise for them. All right, let's get back to what I was going to say. If I go over here, I can see the word find over here. And what I can do is I can inspect this. And I'm going to go inspect this, and we'll make this a little bit. I don't know if you're watching on your cell phone, so I'm going to assume you're looking at this stuff on your cell phone. I'm going to make it as big as possible. There we go. And if I take this magic button over here and I click on this, it will tell me that this is an input field. Input, there you are. And it has an ARIA label. It says type to search, navigate forward to hear suggestions. So that means I could type the word search and click on it and get it. Search is also in the class. Input. Search is here a second time in here. The ID has the word search over there. And what else do we have? Placeholder. Find. So the placeholder has find. And then the text. Is there text? I don't think there is text on this because I'm going to be the one putting in the text. All right, cool. So these are the ways that you can go and find something and say, I'm looking for an input. By the way, if you're building your own automation framework and you're trying to do plain English, that's cool. You need to know about the 5 verbs that are out there. The verbs are navigate or go to, whatever you want to do. The next one would be click. Now, what you can do is you can say click means I'm going to interact with any elements. And the other thing you can do is enter or type or send. And what that means is I'm only looking for a specific type of element. I'm not going to type at a button. I'm not going to type at a div, which is text. I'm going to type at an input field. I'm looking for anything. So if I say I want to enter something, I'm going to look for all the elements that has enter. Enter something into something that has a text. So the text might be find or get. And you can find elements, whatever framework you're using, just by searching through and saying, okay, let me find an element. That's an input. Maybe I have 5. And then look through the ID, the area label, the class, and see if you can find the word input or whatever word you're looking for. Search in this case. So I'm going to go back over to testRigor, and I'm going to go and demonstrate this by doing a brand new test. And I'm going to say, enter. What are we looking for today? We're looking for a computer. Computer into. Now, last time I said find, I'm going to say search over here. And I'm going to go and hit. This is a description over here. Find with search. Quote over there. Sounds good. Instead of find, I'm going to find with search. Seems a little redundant over there. Now, while I'm doing this, I can do something else also cool. You may have noticed there's an AI context over here. And I'm going to say search for products for televisions, for TVs. And I'm going to actually put this into the context. So I'm going to say AI context. This is an AI prompt. And I can make this a little bit smarter. So I could go and create an AI-driven test. But I'm going to put this in here and say, this is a test that should search for TVs and add to cart. Let's try that. I'm going to hit save. You can even put images up there. By the way, you could go and add an image if you wanted to put that in there. And there's all sorts of images of me and my Dark Arts wizardry. And I'm going to go save this and ask it to generate a sample AI. And it goes and says, I'm going to go look for a pan in there and check the page contains pan. Cool. I'm going to go delete this for a moment, and then I'm going to go generate an actual AI test. So over here, it is generating this on live. Now, while that's cooking, I'm going to go back to the one we just did. It says here, enter computer into search. You'll notice that it entered the computer into search. I do want to put a little bit ahead of this because it went. One of the things testRigor tries to do is execute as fast as possible. But I'm going to say, wait until page contains find. I'm going to do that. Or search. Actually, I want to wait for it to say search. We'll try that and see how that goes. Now it says unrecognized command before the clause. That means that I didn't write this correctly. It gives me a little hint. Wait, I'm going to say 250 milliseconds up to 5 seconds, because the response is pretty good on the website. That's 10 shots at it until the page contains this. Now, that's going into the cooker. I'm back over here, search for TVs. This was an AI-driven test. We're going to see. Now, I didn't write any of this. You didn't see me write any of this stuff. It says enter TVs into what can I help you find today, and then check if the page contains a 70-inch TV. And let's take a look. We'll take a peek over here. We put TVs in here, and then it's before and after. You're going to see before I typed in something, I enter this in here, then it takes another screen capture, and we'll get back over there, and we'll make this a little bit bigger so we can actually see that. And we're going to go over there, and the next thing is check if the page contains a product, TVs 70 inches, and look at that, products for TVs, and the quotes are escaped over here, so it's escaped quotes, TVs 70, escaped quotes, and it's got two quotes on it. Why would there be two? I think that looks like a bug to me. Yeah, that's a bug right there. Why would you have two quotes? Oh, I know. This is products for quote TV 70-inch quote over there. Yeah. What if I think that looks good. Well, which one do we want? Maybe I want the third one. Let's do that. I'm going to go quick edit over here, and I'm going to say let's do click third TVs. We're going to do this like that there, and put that quote in there and update and retest. We're going to let that cook for a minute, and we're going to come back to our one that was going before. We were doing the search over here. Let me do a quick edit. We were doing waiting up to 5 seconds for this. You never want to do a hard-coded wait. That's the big thing. Nobody likes that. Like doing wait. I can do it. Wait 3 seconds or 3 minutes. I prefer not to do seconds. I prefer to say wait 1 millisecond and do that. But not recommended. Hard stops. No hard waits. I don't like them. I like this. This is a dynamic wait. Everyone who is doing test automation, dynamic waits, should be doing this. All right. So I'm going to go and hit update and retest over here. And then I'm going to go look at our history, our version control, the version control of testRigor over there. And I still only got one eyeball, but I appreciate you hanging out with me for the hour and doing what you're doing and hanging out here. If it's the same person, that is pretty cool. I'm going to take a look at my email and see if anyone has sent an email to thedarkartswizard@gmail.com. I don't see anything coming in from thedarkartswizard@gmail.com, but hey, maybe somebody will send an email to thedarkartswizard@gmail.com, because I am not afraid to navigate to any particular URL. Right now, we are just going over here to Best Buy. Just kind of easy peasy, right? I'm going to go back over here, and let's go take a look at my tests. I was talking about the version control, so I'm going to go edit the test case, and it's a little hidden over here, but it does say runs at the bottom. So this is how many times I've run this. I've run this 3 times, and it's taking about 12 to 14 seconds to execute each one of those lines over here. It's 12 seconds plus 1 millisecond over there. All right. So we are waiting 250 times up to 5 seconds until the page contains search. And take a look. There it is. That's what we're looking for. What can we help you find today? And that's how we are able to interact and put computer into search. You'll notice search does not appear in this text. It only appeared when if we were looking into the area label, class, or the text. Name could have it. The placeholder definitely has it. But here's the thing. One of the cool things about testRigor, I probably didn't know about this. What if you decide that you have a contract with your developers and they say, we're going to start doing data QA. Now, what does data QA mean? Data QA means that the data QA means that I'm going to have to go tell somebody to have a voicemail. Yeah, somebody's of course calling me in the middle of this. Why? I didn't put my phone number out there. So let's say you have a data QA, something that says data QA instead of this ID over here, right? And the data QA means that the developers have a contract with the QA department saying, we promise, pinky swear, okay? We will put this attribute in our page, but we won't ever change it to identify this, so that in case, maybe the ID changes, maybe the class changes, maybe the text changes, but we promise the data QA will never change. Now, could testRigor actually look at it? That could be different from project to project to project, right? So if you're on testRigor over here, here's the cool thing. If I go over to settings and I take a look, don't tell anybody, don't tell their settings over here. If I were to go to advanced and I were to scroll down over here, right, I would see that I can add custom attributes like data-QA and tell it, hey, go find that. Go use that to go find my elements, because that's what our developers have said they were going to do. And you could also collect HTTP requests and other things over here. And in fact, I'm going to go take a look. Oh, what's my speed optimization? Is there anything over here? I'm going to go and stop waiting for this page to update. And I'm going to hit save. So there's all sorts of different little tips and tricks that you can do over there. So I'm going to go over here to my test case. And I'm going to go this another. This is 14 seconds. Give it another shot. I'm going to give it another run and see if that actually runs a little bit faster, because there are lots of little checks that we do. Everybody wants to run as fast as possible. I get that. You got to get it all done as fast as possible. But then you also are like, oh, I'm going so fast that it didn't type everything into the input field, or going so fast that the data on the back end didn't have time to update the record to validate, and it failed. It's a false positive because 2 seconds later it would have been passed. Let's always be careful about trying to run as fast as possible. I have this one rule I talk about. You've probably heard me mention in the other sessions over here. I will take accuracy over speed any day. Accuracy over speed. If I can very quickly log in and the rest of the whole 100 test cases fail, that is absolutely useless to anyone. I can't show a return on investment on that. But if I can get it to accurately log in and continue the test and complete 99 of them, and one of them fails, and that becomes a defect, then I'm really happy about it. That's my ROI. All right, let's take a look. Did this improve our execution at all? I'm looking for my execution. 16 seconds. It really didn't do much over there. However, I do have my video turned on, so I could play this back and see exactly what it does as it's executing over here. It's basically waiting for the page to build. There's the page building. And then we go over and enter in the text over here. It was actually a hover over there. And then we're going and searching throughout that and putting computer over there. Yeah, you can do hover. There are about 5 different things that you can do. Keep in mind, I'm still looking to see if there's an email from anybody. Anybody wants to send an email to thedarkartswizard@gmail.com and say, hey, I want you to go to this particular website. I'm going to go back over here and look, we've been doing this all these different days. This is on the 31st over here. I was going to go enter the find. I'm going to go take a look at these steps. Look how easy it is. Enter phone into find. Enter. That's hitting the enter key. Okay. Check the element to the left. Click the element to the left of ready for pickup 1. That's a checkbox. Let's go take a look. This is boring. We're going to go take a look at the real stuff. All right. This is it over here. Click element to the left of ready for pickup. And what exactly is it? It's a checkbox. And did it actually click it? It did, but it scrolled off screen because we're also validating this over here. But here's another cool thing you can do is we did this. We tested Stream Boom live. The only problem is it ended up with a CAPTCHA, which I can't demo getting through a CAPTCHA because that's keeping black hats out. And I don't want to do that. This over here, take a look at this. We are just verifying. This is a failed test. We're verifying that we saw an amount, and the amount did not appear on our screen, $59 for a wireless wand. So I'm going to say, yeah, that's actually working correctly. It's just saying, yeah, I can't find it. Now, you could use AI to go and check that. This is just a standard validation saying, hey, I can't find this on the screen. But that's kind of things you're looking for. Not everything should pass. You definitely want to have a tool that's going to be able to find an error, an issue, a problem, and show it to you in a way that is going to make sense over here. So here I executed this test case over here, and we did have one more, and I'm showing off over here. I do have one person watching, so I'm going to go and see if I can find this. This one I love over here. This is the data-driven superheroes, and I've got a test case, all these things connected. Look, I got a Wade Wilson, Dr. Strange, and look at this. I got Hulk, Bruce Banner, and he did not show up. It gave me an error and said, hey, I can't find an account on here, and is attempting to click on the account, but it's not waiting for the account. So I'm going to go and see if I can modify this and make that over here. So I'm going to say, check button is complete. We're going to check this is visible, click account, click create account. We're going to say check. I'm going to do this check. All right, create account. I'll put that in create account. You know what? All of this is probably going to be done over and over again if I do an account. So what would we do? We would probably, if we were coding this, hello, second eyeball. Thank you for joining in. Let me just, I'm talking a little bit about reusable rules, and that is essentially a subroutine or a function, and you can actually parameterize them. In this case, I would probably want to do this. I never want to do a hard-coded wait. My second eyeball went away. I'm like boring them. Oh my gosh. Well, first eyeball, I know you. We've been friends for 4 days now. I'm pretty sure you're the same person. So send me an email, say hello, or send a message through here and to let me know this. So since our second eyeball went away, I'm going to go and say, you know what we could do is we could take this and we could make it into a reusable rule, because every test case is going to have that. So I'm going to go over here to a reusable rule, and I'm going to go create a new one. I already did one yesterday where I was automatically clicking the pop-up that if I could see the word thanks, then go click thanks, because it's part of no thanks. But we're going to create a new rule right now, and we're going to do this. We're going to say new rule right there, and I'm going to say, yes, go ahead, please. And I'm going to go and punch this all in here, and I'm going to say reusable rule, open account. We're going to do that. And I am going to give this a label so that if I were testing all sorts of accounts, I could go and sort by all the labels over there. And it doesn't have to be much of a thing over here. I'm going to hit find and replace. It says, I found one test that has all these words. You want me to replace them? I'm like, yes, yes. And it says one test case has been refactored, changed. Okay. So if I go back over here to my test cases and I come down here and I see that I have got the parameterized superheroes. This is the one over here. And remember, it had all those lines in there. If I hit quick edit, look, I now got RR open account, reusable rule, open account. All 4 of those are in there. And take a look. If I click, I'm holding down the control key, and if I hit the click on this, it's going to open up a brand new tab. And what's that going to do? Take me right to that reusable rule where I have these 4 elements here. But hey, we don't believe any of that, so we're going to hit update and retest. Now we have a 5-second wait here. The reason for it is so that it takes long enough that I can click on the view execution and you can see the test cases running in parallel. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because it looks better when I'm zoomed out to see test cases running in parallel. So I'm going to click on that as soon as this becomes available. It is picking up the tests, and I'm going to go hit retest over here. And we are chugging away. And as soon as this test, you'll notice it's reset over here. And I'm going to look for, oh, okay, there we go. I'm going to go hit click view execution and check this out. These are all the tests. They're all in progress. They're all running at the same time. I did add that one extra line, which has got the open reusable rule, which is going to, says here, open reusable. Look at that. Look at that. I got 8, 10 tests all execute at the same time. So if they all take 15 seconds to execute, that means it takes a long time. It takes, let's see, we got one failed, 2 failed, 3. I wonder if those are the same ones. So I'm going to go take a look at Peter Parker. We're going to see. This is the one right failed over here. And what we were doing, check account is visible. All right. And account is saying it is visible and it's over here, but it is saying that there is an error. I want to take a look. Account is supposed to be visible. It's a descriptor, but what it's basically saying is it's looking for text, not a button, not a link, and it doesn't see that on the screen. So I'm going to go and modify that particular line of code so that that works. So it's going to go check account is visible. What should we do over here? We want to check that create account is visible. I think that looks, click the button account is visible. It didn't actually click account. It clicked it correctly. And this one is saying that there's create account. All right. So what do I want to do? Check account is visible and click the button. And that's basically, so check account is visible. I am going to say check create account button. How about sign in? Let's see, what could we have over there? Create account is visible. I'm going to go backwards one step. So we went over here, we watched and waited for this, and I'm going to see that create account is visible. What can I say? How about get the latest deals and more? I'm going to do that. I'm going to change this to get the latest deals and more. That is on my reusable rule. And I'm going to check get the latest, check create account. Greatest deals. So we're going to go with text on that. Greatest deals. I'm going to hit save on that. I'm going to go give that test another rerun. We'll come back over here. We'll go back over to our test cases and we'll give that another shot. It's pretty cool that you have the ability to retest all these test cases with just one, and they all run in parallel, which is really super neat. Again, I'm really happy that I've got one eyeball watching this. I'm going to post this recording on Friday, and one eyeball. I'm going to be doing this again on Friday. If you are the same person who's been watching me every day, it's nice to have a groupie. I absolutely appreciate it. If you can take a look on my YouTube channel, you can go over here. YouTube, I'm going to put this over here while we're waiting for that to percolate. We're going to do Paul Grossman, the Dark Arts Wizard. Paul Grossman, Dark Arts. Just look for Dark Arts Wizard. You'll find it. And you'll find me. And you can see this is the live day 4. This is what you go to live. You will see live day 4. This is live. This is us right now. It's just like that movie from Spaceballs. This is now. Now is now. Now here. This is now. That was now. Yes, I hope you saw that movie and maybe got a little chuckle out of it. But yeah, these are my live sessions out here. you know what? I got, let's see, I had 13 views here, 13 views here. I got 6 views over here because I don't think I posted it enough over there. And I do like this AI thing that I've got over there. And you can watch this. And then if you go directly to this, here's the cool thing. I'm going to pause that so I don't hear it in my ears. You can go to the chat and say, hello, Polly, like that. P-A-U, Paul, spell my own name right. Hello, Polly. And hit the send button. And then, you know what happens? I'll tell you what happens. Back over here, I can see that it is saying that I'll say, hello, Polly. It pops up right there. I can see conversations if you do it from YouTube or if you do it from Twitch. So do check it out. I've got about 20 minutes left in this broadcast, so I'm going to see what else I can do to do this. Let's see. What did I do? Oh, Polly broke everything. Polly's not a good guy. Polly's, I'm going to go and change this over here. This is going back to our reusable rule. We'll go back to that. And obviously, greatest deals is not the best thing. What did I do? Let's go zoom in. Let's go figure out what is going on over here. Doesn't say this, greatest deals, but I did find the account and it did click on it. So again, one of the features I was talking about all week is what this is. This is, yes, something went wrong. It didn't find greatest deals, right? And if I go to more details, I show it. It says it couldn't find greatest deals on there. But it didn't stop the test. So just to reiterate, there are 2 different ways you can do testing. And one will tie your hands behind your back, all 3. And the other way, you can actually be much more efficient. That's how you reduce your maintenance time. There's multiple ways to do it. One, getting rid of the page object model, having to update CSS and XPath or even learn it in the first place. That is difficult. The test, the major problem that we have there is we're talking about hard asserts and soft asserts. Now, a hard assert says, hey, I couldn't find greatest deals and I'm not doing anything else after this. Obviously, testRigor did this. It actually went through and completed the test. It did say it failed. There was something it didn't like, but it goes and continues on. If I had 2 or 3 validations more, I could see in one test all the validations that are failing and address them all in a reasonable amount of time. If you have a hard assert, it just stops right here. If you have a soft assert, it means, hey, I documented this, and this is a problem, and I'm going to continue on. I'm going to continue on giving results. So if you are doing an automation, building your own automation framework, please do consider doing soft asserts, not hard asserts. The problem is most of the libraries that are out there, like Jest, by default, it's a hard assert. I'm going to say something. I got to let you know. The reason this is, don't tell anyone. This is a secret just between me and that one little eyeball watching. So don't keep it to yourself, okay? The reason is because those frameworks are built by developers who don't do test automation, okay? They just build this sort of little thing that says, oh, I'm going to build this, and I think hard asserts would probably be the best way to go. And they don't have enough experience to know that soft asserts would make the tool so much better, and to do it as a default. But all right, there's one eyeball between you and me. Keep that. Okay. Don't let the other developers know. I'm already in trouble with the developers enough. All right. And they don't like me because I keep finding bugs in their code and I'm not friends with them. Okay. I do try to give them a veggie pizza every once in a while and keep them happy, but I know I get the eyeball. Okay. Like you, the eyeball over here. Okay. But you and I are friends, and we're going to keep that under your hat, all right? Or under your headphones, whatever you happen to have on, or in your earpods. Okay. All right, cool. So keep that secret over there. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take a look at this, and let's see. Oh, you know what? I could do account. I could say wait for an account button. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go over to my reusable rules, and I'm going to say I want to find this. We're not going to say this. I want to check account. I'm going to say check page contains count. You see all that? By the way, did you see all this? Look at this. If I do RR, it gives me a whole drop down of all the reusable rules I can do. I can select close pop-up, and that's the pop. I could put that into a reusable rule. Rules can be called. You can call on one other rule from another one. The only thing you don't want to do between you and me again, one eyeball. You don't want to do recursive calls because it gets messy. All right. And in fact, I can tell you, testRigor over here absolutely will block you from doing a recursive call of a function. Hey, I got a response. Holy smokes. It's the same guy. All right. Streamboo.com. All right. You do know it's Stream Boom, right? We figured that out 2 days ago. So, sir, I will do it. I will go over there. I will show what the Stream Boom does, and you can see it. Look, I'm going to show you. Look, this guy. Yeah, he's like, hey, do this thing over here. But Stream Boom, not Stream Boo. Stream Boo is a complete. Don't go to Stream Boo. It is not cool. All right, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to finish this one up over here, and then we'll go back over to Stream Boom. And it is some Russian stuff over there. We'll take a look at it. I think it's Russian, maybe Ukrainian. I don't know. I don't know the language, please. I just know it's not English. All right. And I'm going to hit save over here. And I'm going to go let that percolate. We're going to go let it percolate. And so we've got that. I'm assuming that is you, okay, Mr. Eyeball, since I did get a response over here. That must be you, the stream boomer, which is fine. Okay, so this guy is I'm going to go retest that. We'll let that cook. We're going to go back over to Stream Boom. I got 2 of these. I had 2 of these open. Remember, we were looking at this, but it immediately went over to going to stream it. So I was able to click login. Check this out. That's login. I believe in Russian. That's the Russian word login. And the only reason I could click login, it didn't translate. It just happens to have the word login behind that button. And this is register over here. Look at me learning Russian. Oh my gosh. I bet you're so proud of me. No, you're not. I get it. And I'm pretty sure this all could be translated as well. But here's what I'm going to do. Let's do some validations on this screen over here. And we'll do that for you. I'm going to go and edit this. We're going to edit this test case. Now, I already know that the login is going to take me to click on login. It's going to have me try and do some sort of more stuff. So I'm going to do a validation. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go and open this stream. And I am going to go over to live mode. We're going to do this in live. We're going to start an interactive session, and that's going to take a few seconds for it to come up. There is a lot of little extra things that are going on behind the scenes. Launching a test takes a couple of seconds. It's really not all that difficult. But when you get into live mode, there is more stuff that is behind the scenes, so it does take a little bit more time to pop up and kick in and do all sorts of stuff there. So got about 10 to 12 minutes left, so we should be able to do this. I am going to go. So we went to the Best Buy over here, and I'm going to go set this over to 1, and I'm going to set this over to generate command over here. Open URL. Quote. Boom. We're going to go to the touch screen. We're going to go over there, and I had it in there twice, so we'll make that work. I'm going to execute that and see where we go. So, all right, here we go. Heading back over to Stream Boom over there. I'm going to say check page, and we're going to do an AI validation. Contains Stream Boom, like that. Logo. I call it a logo. I'm going to go ahead and execute that. And it says, by the way, you didn't write it right. It's supposed to be, it's a little thing to say, hey, you didn't say using AI. Isn't that cool? I wanted to do using AI, and then I then I misspelled using AI. All right, there I am. I'm executing that. Now this guy is going to come back and give me a little green button and say, hey, everything is cool. And it is taking, like I said, don't think about that AI is going to be doing every single button. testRigor can put in AI at every point, but you don't need to. That's one of the things I hear about. It's like, AI is going to do everything. Yeah, cool. You do a 25-step test, it's going to slow it down incredibly. You just want to say click login. You don't want to say click login using AI. It'll do the exact same thing, but it'll just take much longer with AI. And why? Why do that? Well, you want to be as fast as possible. So I took a look at this, and this actually came back and is still chugging away over there. It's thinking about it. It does take a little while for this to figure this out. Also, what this does is in AI, because we're in a live mode session over here, it actually takes more time to do that. So I'm going to go and we're going to abort that over there. Let that recycle. I'm going to go recycle this. And we will go over to this. And let's see. I'm going to go over to my test case over here. I know this is a live mode, but I do have one that is actually testing over here. And I'm going to go do a quick thing over here. I'm going to do that register. I don't want to click register. Well, the register actually was doing pretty good yesterday. What if I say populate, fill out form? What if I say fill out form? I'm going to hit update and retest. We're going to do register and say fill out form. And we're going to watch that and see what happens. Wouldn't it be kind of cool if you had something that would fill out a form automatically? Yeah. Oh, hello. Nope. Two viewers on the stream, but you didn't know that on that thing over there. I'll go over to Stream Boom. We'll go to .com. We'll go to that. Go to Stream Boom. And the weird thing is at the very bottom over here. I'm gonna look at it over here. It's a copyright 2008. That's something I'd be looking at. Dude, like, get your copyright up to speed there, man. I'm not sure if this is still a thing. I have no idea what these messages are saying. So if it's something bad, don't blame me because I don't speak that language. All right. So I'm going to go back over to Best Buy over here. We do have our live session going on here, and it did come back and said it was okay. So we're good on that. So what am I going to do? I am going to say, click register. No AI involved at this point. I'm going to click on that and do this. I clicked on register. Look at this. All right. So what I'm going to do is fill out the form. I'm going to go execute this. And let's see what it does. Now, it is doing some AI stuff. And it is populating this. Look at this. It put in an email. Look at that. Will you look at that? All right. Tell me that is not cool. I told it just fill out form. And what did fill out form do? Oh, my gosh. Look at this. Look at this. It's going over here and it said fill out form. Well, it says just generate a unique name. There's a unique name. That's very unique. I'd say that. And it puts it into this name, first name at the top. It identified that that's the name. And then the next thing says, okay, put in an email. Here's an email, a unique email at testRigor-mail. I didn't have to type any of that. Isn't that cool? My gosh, I think I'm going to end the video on this because that's really cool. And then we're going to enter a password, 123, into, this is Russian for password. And we're going to fill out that form. What does it do? Put in the password. Did you see me type these lines? I did not type these lines. This is the coolest thing ever. And then over here, it's putting in password into, well, this says password, so this must say repeat password. All right, and I do this, and does it do this? Now here's the thing: is I think, oh yeah, because it's a password. Look, check this out. It used the same password. Yesterday I tried this, and it gave different passwords when it did. Today the AI is so much smarter, and that's just filling out the form. And whatever's in the form, it'll go and fill it out. Is that cool? It's right there. It's right there. It's neat. Oh, I want to check that this is here. I'm going to click on that. Now, when it said, check if page contains 2000, and look at that. Boom. It came right back and said instantly, yeah, I see it right there. What are you waiting around for, buddy? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Here, I'm going to go and take a look at this. This is going to click on this. Oh, and then we just went back over to Cloudflare. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to see, how do I go back? GOPACK. I'm going to execute that and go back. And that should take us right back over here. Isn't that cool? How easy is that? Seriously. No page object model, no CSS, no XPath. That is so easy. All right, let's see how easy it is to do the Candy Mapper challenge. I'm going to go open URL, and I'm going to go get Candy Mapper. Where's my Candy Mapper? Candy Mapper's over here. All right, cool. I'm going to do Candy Mapper over here. I'm going to go and open that up, paste it in. I don't want to find my candy. I just want candymapper.com. And I am going to go and execute that. Now, this should take us right over to Candy Mapper. Looks good. I like it. I'm going to go click on this X, and it says click close. You notice I can go back. I could just say click close. That's all I would need to do. I don't need to have all this. This is just the AI just getting too wordy. It worked. Fair enough. But I could just say close. And it'll just get it. It's kind of cool. But we're going to do that later because I ain't got time. We're getting near the end of the hour. Again, Mr. One Eyeball out there, thank you for participating all week long. The next thing is, what do I want to do? I want to enter Paul. Look, I don't even have my name up. It's not visible over there. Do I have to do a scroll down? Let's see. I'm going to enter Paul into, make sure I got the right name over there. I'm going to go back over here, and we will go take a look. What's this? First name. So I'm going to go put that into first name. There to do Paul into first name. If I do that, I'm going to execute that. Let's see where it goes. Does it figure out that there's a... Look at that. I didn't have to scroll anything. No scrolling, monkeying around. It just came right up here, put the Paul over here. You can see, yeah, boom, I found it. It's there. Ain't that cool? Oh, man, I'm going to have so many videos. Then I'm going to go and click submit. Click submit. I believe is a submit. Is that right? I'm going to go double check. Yeah, it's submit down there. Okay. I'm going to go click submit. I'm going to spell it right. Submit. Yada, yada, yada. And we are going to go execute that. And does it find it and click it? That's the most important thing. So it did find it. Now you don't see it here, and there's the way I know is because it says click, please enter a valid email. So I'm going to change this over here and say, let me modify the input. I'm going to go click this, and what does it do? It says, please check if the page contains this. I'm going to go and change this to generate command. I'm going to go click it one more time, and it comes back and says, click all this. This is just the AI. Remember, AI is about 80% smart. 20% dumber than a box of rocks. It's really not anything more or less than that. So it sat there and went, oh, I'm going to go use this. Obviously, this is not an element I would go to do. I would definitely want to validate that the page contains this. All right? Check the page contains. Remember, it doesn't have to be exact. It can be average. Valid email. And it doesn't have to be case sensitive. Email. I'm going to make it all big like this, right? Check if page contains, like that. Boom, comes right back. It says, yeah, it's right there. It's on there. Okay, it scrolled a little bit. That's why the highlight went off, but no big deal. It is correct. And then I'm going to go and enter. Check this out. Enter. What am I going to do? Enter. I'm going to go and click on the email. Boop. And what do we get? I want to put in me@me.com. in there. I'm going to hit enter on that and then execute. I got the asterisk in there because it's required, but I can take that out. I'm going to execute that. Let's see. Does it do it? Me at me.com right there. I hope this is big enough for everybody to see. That's as big as I can get it. Me at me.com right there. Oh, do you need more room? I'm going to close that out. Yeah, I got plenty of room. Need more room? We're going to do this. Look, you can, it makes it a little bit smaller there, but we can make it big. Big, 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 big. Cool. Now, next thing we're going to do is we want to click on that submit. Now, I'm going to go down here and click the submit. I'm going to just go copy that because I'm so lazy. By the way, in case I hadn't mentioned it, this is a cool thing. If you are a Windows user, my one little eyeball, you can hit the Windows and the V key, and it will turn on a clipboard history. Now, it will not save it from restart to restart. And a little tip, if you search on the internet, you will find a hack that will make it save it from restart to restart. Don't do it because it breaks it. It took me forever to figure it out. All right, I'm 1 minute over on my hour, so I definitely want to get this in here and finish this up. I'm going to execute, clicking on submit. And do we get to the right page? It says it's sending. I like that. And the last thing is to verify that it says, that's a little off screen, so I'm going to say, I'll do it by hand. Check page contains and 48 years. And that is this. Does it say? Does it find it? Does it find it? Right there. I'll prove it. Right there. It says, thank you for your inquiry. We'll get back to you within 48 years. So yeah, page contains 48 years. It's frickin' there. I'm going to save this session and save it. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And as much as we are going to do today, again, my one little eyeball, you sent me one website, the Stream Boom on there. And what I'm going to ask is, send me another website. Find me something else. Anybody else who wants to send. If you're watching this on the recording, please, I have no fear. We will go to Stream Boom. We will go to anything you want. Send it out there. On Friday, we're going to do this again, and we are going to execute on all this. And with that, I'm going to let it just chug away and see if we get, I don't think we had any errors in this. By the way, if you do happen to generate an error, it doesn't record it. This did say, now it does say 13 minutes. That was me sitting here for 13 minutes talking about how I'm going through the whole website. Okay? We're going to let this chug away and see how fast this actually takes to go and take care of all that. It's only one test case, so there's really nothing to show off with running in parallel. But here it is. It went over to Stream Boom. And let's see if this gets through or not. Hopefully this does. This is going to Stream Boom. And then it will go navigate back. Let's go see what was the timing on this. These are the timings over here. I did go over here, and this took, oh my gosh, look at this. It says it took 2 minutes and 40 seconds to validate that Stream Boom was there. I'm going to show the extra info. It says it's true because the screenshot displays this. Now, remember I said AI is slow. And when I'm doing this in live mode, there are extra things that are in there that kind of churns it up. But the exact same thing, let's go take a look over here, our last bit for this demo. We're going to take a look at this and say, make sure that it exists. It took about 29 seconds to execute 2 different lines over there. So it wasn't 2.5 minutes. It was just about 28 seconds was taken care of by the AI. And it did say, came back and says, hey, there's a web page with Stream Boom. This probably displayed in white text, which appears to be the company's logo. The text is styled in a distinctive way of typical logos positioned in the upper left-hand corner of the website, where logos are commonly placed, and is functioning as the site's brand over there. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. It chugged away. This is a yellow thing. Guess what? Okay, I'm going to show you this. This means that there is something funky on the page. I think I showed this yesterday. It's giving me a 403. on a Stream Boom login, 403. I have no idea what that is, but you could take that over to the Stream Boom developer and say, hey, is that an issue, or is that just because that we've got the Cloudflare going on over there? Okay, we go back and we did this, and then we went to Candy Mapper and we closed the Candy Mapper over here. I'm going to go zoom this in as much as I can. This is clicking on the close. We could have just said click close, it would get it. And then we go and put Paul in the first name, submit in there, and we did submit. And then we say, thank you. We see it in 48 hours. That is really, really fast. How long did this take to execute? It's about 1 minute and 9 seconds versus me talking for 13 minutes and 15 seconds just to do all this validation. And this includes one AI validation. I think this is the coolest thing in the world. If you don't agree with me, join me Friday and give me a website that you say, okay, I don't believe what you're showing me is real, and try this website. I'm going to say thank you to everybody who popped in, my 3 eyeballs who happen to sit here and take a look at it. I'm going to have these up on, I'm on a whole bunch of different places on all major social media. You look for me on X, on Discord, on YouTube, on what else am I on? Let's see. I'm on TikTok and Twitch and YouTube and Facebook, all of it, and Threads and Substack. Come follow me. Come see what else I'm doing. Check out my YouTube channel, Paul Grossman, the Dark Arts Wizard. It's pretty easy to remember and find. And with that, I'm going to bid you good day. It's been 1 hour and 7 minutes of cool test automation stuff without code, without a page object model, without XPath, without CSS. Have yourself a great day. I will see you tomorrow.